Okay, I gotta get this over with because I have a lot to talk about. So, my low, my high, my act of kindness. My low is I got up later than what I liked to start this video and get everything ready. My high was I got to spend the afternoon with my father yesterday. It was very nice. And my act of kindness was, actually I think my act of kindness was the fact that here's the thing. I already got my mom her Mother's Day card. And I actually showed it off to my dad, so that was really nice. So let's see with that. Good morning, happy Monday, and one thing. Oh, first I gotta fix this. I really was in a hurry to get this started. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, yesterday, at the last minute, they delayed the season 2 finale of Amphibia. And we don't know when it's going to air on TV, but it's still got online, I think, due to like streaming services or something. So someone like uploaded on there, which was very nice. So I was able to watch this episode. Now, I want to make one thing clear. And this is actually really good news, by the way. I said on camera at least twice that no matter what happens, I was still going to love Amphibia and was still going to wait with gusto for season 3. And the good news is, I stand 100% completely by it. But, holy cow, there's no way I don't think I ever would have seen this coming. No way. Like, no way. So, basically, the season finale of Amphibia was titled True Colors, which is an episode title which will very much indicate the meaning as I'm describing the episode to you. So, the entire gang, the planners, Frobo, and Marcy, Sasha, Grime, all arrived at Utopia on Joe Sparrow. And, they get in, they have a plan to, give out King Andreas the music box, and they can send him home. So basically, and this is the first instance of True Colors. I mean, the audience already knew this, but Marcy and the gang didn't. That basically, Sasha and Grime turn on them, they capture the king, and things are not looking great for our heroes. Although we do get a nice reappearance for a General Yuyan. That was really cool. Anyway, so basically throughout the episode, Anne and the gang are trying to retake back Utopia, from the Toad raid going on. Meanwhile, Sasha is starting to have a few second thoughts about what she's doing. Although it is really cool that it turns out she always wanted to learn how to dual wield swords. Not gonna lie. As someone who played Kingdom Hearts, especially Kingdom Hearts 2, dual wielding blades is just so awesome. Anyway, where was I? So, things are also, another, way back, when sort of the test pilot stuff was coming out for Amphibia years ago, they actually sort of, had Sprig fight, Grime. They had that here in this episode too. It was awesome. And, yeah, I'm saying it now, Sprig Planner is a grown man. Seriously, when a kid who's a good guy beats an adult who's a bad guy, that brings the kid to grown man status. Even though he's saying a frog, I don't care. It was awesome. So, it turns out before the final battle, the first final battle, I'll get to the other one in a second, happens, Sasha and Grime find out that King Andreas wants to use a Calamity Box for something bad. And then Grime's like, okay, now it's a really good thing that we capture that guy. But, because Sasha screwed up earlier, no one believes her when she's trying to explain what King Andreas really is. So, at first it seems like the day is safe, the music box is in good hands, Grime was captured, and Sasha and Marcy are ready to go home. One problem. King Andreas shows off his true colors. Second time you see that. Oh, don't worry. There's going to be one more time when you see this. Don't you worry. Right. So, it turns out, 1,000 years ago, King Andreas' ancestors were, like, powerful conquerors. And they used the Calamity Box or Music Box, or Calamity Box, to, conquer. And basically that's what King Andreas is going to continue doing. So now, they have to try and take the Music Box away from King Andreas. Which, it turns out, a lot of things are going well. King Andreas activates those old robot factories way back from the beginning of the season. And they fought the robots. Hot Pop actually punched a robot and it knocked him down. That was awesome. And although obviously it was like, oh, ow, 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 sort of thing, which is really funny. What else is there? Oh yeah, right. Frobo dies, or he gets smashed by King Andreas. King Andreas is like, oh, well, one of my robots must be defective. Boom, smashed him. It wasn't a pretty sight. I'm not gonna lie. And then Marcy, I almost said the name of Marcy's voiceover actor, Haley Zhu. Anyway, Marcy's like, this wasn't part of the plan. And then King Andreas makes Marcy reveal her true colors. Because believe it or not, if you think the episode started off in Utopia, oh no. Much like in Reunion at the end of season 1, we also started this episode with a flashback. Specifically, from Marcy's perspective. Basically, the day that Anne, Marcy, and Sasha went to Amphibia, it starts off with Marcy in the library. Where, obviously, it's a perfect place for her, she loves reading stuff and studying things. It turns out when she was in the library, she actually saw a book that contained information on the Calamity Box and saw that it could help people travel to other worlds and stuff. Now, there's no way, she even said herself, there's no way she didn't think anything like this would ever happen. But as soon as she found the book, she just took a picture of the box and headed home. Where later it reveals that she runs away from her parents after hearing some bad news. We get to that in a second. She comes across the pawn antique shop where she saw the Calamity Box, the very box she saw in the picture, and she's like, I think I know what gift to give for Anne. Because it was also Anne's birthday that day, remember? So, seriously, if anyone's been put through the ringer in this whole series, it's Anne, but I'll get to that at another time. So, basically, while Marcy really didn't plan on this, there's now an opportunity for all three girls to be together forever. Because it turns out, Marcy's dad got a job out of state, obviously separating the three. So, not good. Not good. Not good at all. But, as it turns out, they're in a bind now. They're trying to get themselves out of it. Seriously, there was a lot of back and forth throughout this whole episode. A lot of back and forth. Like how Polly actually grew legs. Yeah, Polly grew legs. And she was amazing. She could run fast and it was awesome. And she grabs the box and turns out King Andreas grabs Sprague, holds him out over the ledge, and he's like, drop the box or Sprague will, because remember, the Calamity Box is actually making the castle fly. They are extremely high up off the ground. So, Polly does what he says, King Andreas decides to drop Sprague anyway, and then it happens. Okay, if Matt Brawley was any more of a fan of anime, he's definitely won over the hearts of many anime fans, including myself, because with the remaining power that Anne didn't charge into the blue gem, she goes Super Saiyan. Anne goes Super Saiyan. I'm like, No way. And the fight with her and Andreas was so beautifully animated. Like, for a television show, that's like some of the most beautiful animation I've ever seen. Like, ever. Like, don't get me wrong, I've seen a lot of stuff over the years. I mean, anything from Avatar, Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, obviously that's beautiful. You know, stuff like that. But it went straight up anime, and it was awesome. And, like, Anne's hair is going blue. Like, Super Saiyan blue. It's awesome. Holy cow. And Hop Pop's like, what's going on? Your grandma's like, yeah, probably a human thing. Sasha's like, that's not a human thing. Oh, man. And Anne clearly had the upper hand, but she can't control the power, so she fell into sort of lackadaisical thing. But it's actually fine, because Marcy actually wrote on Jack Sparrow to go save Sprig at the last minute. It was off screen, but turns out Sprig was saved, which, that's fine. I don't really... Honestly, people are probably going to complain that they didn't see Marcy save Sprig on screen, but at the same time, you know, Marcy clearly did what she did to save Sprig, so I think people are going to forgive that. I hope they do anyway. And it turns out King Andreas is about to attack. Sasha and Graham are trying to hold him off. Haley grabs the box, tries opening the portal, and Anne and the planners hop in with Frobo's head. And then Anne's saying to Sasha, come on, Anne's saying to Marcy, come on, we gotta go. And then Anne's like, we gotta do one last thing first. King Andreas takes his giant sword of fire and impales Marcy. I'm looking straight here. The sword is like out here. And then King Andreas is like, now look what she made me do. And then Marcy's like, I'm sorry, Anne, for everything. And the portal that the planners are in closes, obviously with Anne, of course. And they land on top of a car hood in the middle of Los Angeles. So, what do you know? Anne's home. I don't know what else to say. I love this ending. This was truly, truly great. For me, this is the kind of ending. I mean, here's the thing. I guess it's sort of a testament to me of how much I've grown over the years, because by all accounts, Book 2 of Avatar: The Last Airbender had a kind of similar ending, where, well, actually, I would argue that was a lot more sad than this, comparatively. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're both pretty sad. I would say, like, in terms of sadness levels, if, like, Avatar: The Last Airbender was a 99, this is a 98. But I love this ending. This season finale was fantastic. You know, every single actor in this cast was completely on point. You know, Bill Farmer, Brenda Song, Anna Kana, Haley Zhu, Troy Baker. Like, everyone who was in this episode delivered their best A game. Not to mention a great performance by Keith David as King Andreas. I mean, it's Keith David, you know. This is the guy who was also the Shadow Man in Princess and the Frog. So believe me when I tell you, this is a great performance. There were great performances all around. So, I would have to say, if I had to come up with an MVP of this whole season, I gotta make it a three-way tie. Because, for sure, Bill Farmer brought a lot of emotional levity around halfway through the season when it revealed why he buried the Calamity Box. Haley Zhu immediately became a fan favorite with Marcy. And then there's Anne. Good Lord. If anyone's been put through the ringer more throughout this whole series, it's her. Like, you really feel for this character. Not to mention, Brenda Song. Wonderful job as Anne Boonchoy. As always. You definitely delivered on every line you had. I didn't see a false note anywhere. And not to mention the animation, especially the fight scene between her and King Andreas. Holy smokes. It's going to be a long time before I probably see animation as good as that. Like, let's say best case scenario, probably the series finale of this show. Unfortunately, we currently do not know when that's going to happen. So, it's completely up in the air as of right now. Not to mention, the way that the episode was playing out, I mean, again, the title of the episode was True Colors. With everyone's revelations throughout this whole episode, like, you could not have had a more fitting name for it if you tried. I mean, I really don't know what else to say. You know, it's actually kind of funny because my father at least saw the first half of season 2 with me up at Kuka Lake. And so, for old time's sake, I actually showed him, like, the very end of this episode. Obviously showing the whole Marcy getting impaled scene, because that was there. And I'm like, and they did that on a Disney show. On a kid's Disney show. Right? And then he's like, yeah, well, there was no blood. Aha! I have an argument with that. And Matt Brawley, if you're ever watching this, don't think I don't know how clever you are for doing that. But you totally followed, like, lightsaber sword of fire rules. Because remember, this is a sword of fire. True. Under normal circumstances, when someone's impaled like that, there's blood. But remember, it's like hot fire stuff, right? So guess what? That would mean on impact, the blood would immediately, like the plasma in the blood would evaporate, and the rest would, coagulate and dry up. Therefore, there wasn't any splatter at all. Very clever. For a kid's show. That's how they were able to get away with it. It's really cool, isn't it? And also the fight between Anne and Sasha was really comforting as well. Because the fact that throughout this episode, Anne is about had, she's had all she can stand with Sasha, and she can't stand no more. Of course, obviously they team up at the very end, but again, you couldn't have predicted what happened in the episode anyway. So, without a doubt, if Reunion left me completely shell-shocked, this completely, like I'm sitting in a chair, and I'm, completely laying on the floor and, stunned. This completely dropped, all sort of doubt. This was a great season finale to Matt Brawley and the great people of making this show, the cast, Bill Farmer, Brenda Song, everyone. You were all brilliant. So, all I can say for now is congratulations on completing this season. You have one more season to go. I mean, don't get me wrong. At the same time, as much as I want I want season 3 to begin, I also know that you all have schedules. You all need to rest and relax, take some time to charge your batteries before planning out season 3, or maybe you have season 3 planned already, you're just getting it underway. Whatever it takes, do whatever you have to. If you have to rest, do it. Make good choices throughout the way. Okay, do that. And here's hoping that season 3 doesn't take very long to arrive. Because, believe it or not, I mean, I made dozens of videos at this point explaining this, but I love this show. I'm going to say this right now. It's probably my favorite show that's currently airing on television or streaming or otherwise. It really is. Again, I made this story plenty of times. I'll do it again. A few years back, when Gravity Falls was airing, I missed out on that. Obviously, I've seen the show, of course. I'm not going to make that same mistake twice. Hence why I really have been trying to be really enthusiastic about the show. It's been one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had doing these videos by far. And here's to hoping that the final season of Amphibia more than lives up to the hype. Which, you know what? You're already 2 for 2. So I have the highest of hopes for all of you to get everything ready. You know, I know Disney kind of screwed the pooch on, not airing the finale when they should have. But you know what? That's fine. I still saw a very wonderful, wonderful episode of a wonderful, wonderful show. And that's about all there is to it. So, needless to say, this episode is dedicated to the good people of the good people behind this wonderful show, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. So, like, favorite, share, hit that subscribe button, follow me on the social media platforms, same you guys on YouTube. I'm very hoping this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And remember, if you guys want to talk and chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear. I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.